a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
We're good to go. We are good to go. We are recording. This is the last day of the National Chicago 2025. We're in the TikTok Creator Studio here. I'm Jeremy Lee from Sports Cards Live, and I am joined by René Nezhoda, Storage Wars, and Bargain Hunters Breaks. René, you're also a poker player, though. How's the poker been going this year so far?
Poker's good. Most of the time, I just get to play on ACR right now, which is online. I went to the World Series. Normally, I play a whole bunch of events. I played one event, the main event. And I'm very sorry to report that I busted on day 2.
Oh, no. Okay, but you had a good time?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, so much stuff is going on right now in our business, which is amazing. My mind wasn't into it. And it really sucks because the first day, I played really good the first day, built a nice stack. And the second day is probably my worst day of poker, the way I played the last 10 years. I played funny. Like I just learned how to play yesterday. I just let it get chipped down and no aggression.
It's funny, sometimes one hand can end your tournament, but it's funny. We're talking about cards, playing poker, but we are at the card show, the sports card memorabilia show here.
Let me just put this in because I want to be very clear how bad I played. It wasn't one hand, okay?
Hold on, we're not talking about cards yet. We're still talking about poker. Let's hear what happened.
It wasn't about one hand. I slowly kept on getting chipped down because I wasn't playing aggressive. I played scared. I wish I just would have played one hand bad and it was one quick mistake. It was an entire day of terrible poker.
Sometimes it just your chip stack gets drained and then you have no power. Then all you're doing is getting blinded out. All right, so listen, we both love this hobby.
More than most people.
More than most people. And I ran into you on the show floor a little while. What's up, fellas? What's up, guys? Ran into you a few minutes ago out on the show floor, and you showed me some of your pickups. Now, you don't have to show them here necessarily, but you are really excited about collecting unopened packs, which I share that love. I have a great collection myself. Why? What is it about unopened packs that you enjoy collecting?
So for me, collecting, like, you know, a lot of people always get mad because, and I think you and me kind of agree on that, right? They always ask about values and we don't know values. Once I collect something and it goes in my collection, it's never for sale until I die. So you got to get it for my wife, right? Or if I upgrade it, if I get a bigger, better grade. So, and my collection is always evolving and it just depends on what the mood I'm in, and it always changes, right? I always want to find new stuff, learn new things. I love learning about the product. And then recently, the last year and a half, I'm really into packs. And one of the reasons why is because they just make me feel like a kid. Yeah. Like I started with 80s packs and like Goonies, the movie, you know. I saw a Drawn pack, the movie Tron. That was like, when that came out, just that whole different world with the light. At least the way we imagined it as a 12-year-old, right? So they just make me feel special. And then I went down the rabbit hole, and now I'm looking for super low pop packs. I bought a Pop 1 pack today. That's one that we know. You know, anything Disneyland, I was able to pick up a 66 Disneyland pack, a 35 Mickey Mouse pack, a 1933 Gaudi Scout pack. Wow. I was a scout for a year, you know, so only a year because then I opened my first business. I didn't have time. But like every pack kind of makes me feel a certain way. And now I'm at the point where if I don't have it, I just have to buy it. Or if it's a PSA 10 and it's a Pop 1 or 2, I have to buy it. So. Yeah. Funny thing is, did you know that a lot of people that collect packs, especially the old school, they don't care about the grade as much as we do in cards?
Yeah.
But for me, I still care about the grade. I'm always trying to find the highest grade, lowest population.
Yeah. I love the packs too because, number one, like you, they make me feel like a kid again, opening up 1980 Topps basketball, you know, 84 O-Pee-Chee baseball and all the hockey sets up in Canada. Those memories, I think, are where my love for this hobby are real. That's the foundation for it. So those packs were the earliest days. And when you accumulate an assemblage of them and you lay them out and you look at them, it's those memories. And the bonus is the art. The artwork on these packs is so cool. And same with display boxes, which I don't collect, but display boxes and packs make such nice display pieces in your home, your office, on your shelves. These were not meant to be saved.
Yeah, so I show them all the time because I'm trying to spread the joy of packs in my streams. And people always get mad. It's like, you got to crack these. We need to know what's in there, right? But you actually hit the nail right on. I actually enjoy some of the art of some of these packs, because remember, the cards are the cards and we got really nice pictures, but especially if you buy packs from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, the whole sales pitch was the art of the pack, and maybe some of the most work of the entire product line was going into the pack or the box. Like it's the same thing, like if you buy a video game from the 1980s, if you look at the packaging of the game, right, or the late 80s, and then you look at the actual game, it's never nothing like it, right? But the packaging, the artwork is amazing. So
that was the problem with Atari. When the Atari 2600 came out in the late 70s and the 80s. Now that was my first system as a kid. You look at the boxes, you know, the Space Invaders graphics,
Missile Command.
Right, you thought that these graphics were going to be amazing. Then you play the game and it's a big letdown. I didn't really care. I was still happy to play those games. But you're right, the artwork is so awesome. And so just like you said, you're showing them on your streams, on Bargain Hunter Breaks, and people are like, you got to crack it. People tell me all the time, or they say, why don't you open these? How do you not open them? How? Because it's not about the cards inside. It is about the unopened pack that is a relic of history. These things are only the populations are only shrinking as people do open these packs, and they do.
Breakers do all. That's Breakers. That's all they do. They buy vintage packs and sell the spot.
12 cards, 12 spots, sort of thing. But to me, the value, the enjoyment is not in what might be in the pack. The joy is in owning this unopened relic of time. It's a time machine. And
the artwork. And also just to add, I'm sorry for interrupting you. I do that a lot, I'm sorry. But one thing that you just said that's really interesting, especially in a lot of the cello packs. So I have Stadium Club with Shaquille O'Neal rookies on top. So there's a lot of people that will sell packs because certain players on top. And I tell them, I don't care what's inside. Sell me your worst player, highest grade. But I did have to buy. I owned a Pop 1, or I think it's a Pop 1 or 2 Stadium Club, which I used to buy as a kid. I think it's 93 with Shaq rookies, right? It's either 92 or 93.
Yeah.
And they have Shaq rookies on top, and I was so upset because they were PSA 10s, and I had to pay a premium because stupid Shaq. I love Shaq, but not on that pack, you know. So
that's the same thing with me. I don't want a pack with. I do not want the 86 Fleer pack with Michael Jordan on the top or bottom, because that's just going to blow up the value of the pack. I just want the pack for the pack art, the wrapper. I do want authentic cards to be inside because,
of course, and
right?
sealed. Yeah,
and sealed and authenticated. But I don't need there to be any special players. I like the mystery. So when I started collecting unopened packs, I've been doing it for 20 years now.
Wow.
My whole thing was I will open these, but on my deathbed. Like I will open them. That's what I used to say. Nowadays, I figure these things have become quite valuable. So at this point, I think to myself, just like you do, I will wait for my estate to reap the financial benefit of those packs down the road. I probably won't, but you never know, René. I might open one or two of them in my 70s or 80s. We'll see.
And I did a very bad thing at this convention. So a few months ago, I started buying sealed boxes, and getting serious about it too. Like I bought a 1953 Bowman automobile box that I paid like $3,300 at Heritage. I go on eBay like literally every day looking at BBC wrap boxes or packs. And I said the one thing I will not do, because I just don't want to start something else, is buy those empty boxes, right? But then some of the coolest boxes in the world that, at this point with packs, we just can't afford them anymore, right? They're like, that's just insane prices.
Yeah.
Jeff from TriStar just showed me his 1952 complete box. It's the only one known in the world, and he turned down $10 million.
Oh my goodness!
So he said he bought it for $162,000 20 years ago, right? But so what I did, the bad thing, I bought a 1959 Topps baseball empty box.
Yeah.
And now you know what's happening now? Now I got one. It's like now I got one. And
you do have to be careful with that. That's what we as collectors, that's how we are wired. You get that first one and the rabbit hole begins. How many rabbit holes do you have in your hot? That's a good question for people. How many rabbit holes have you started? How many are you still in? How many have you completed? But it can only be a rabbit hole that will only cost you money, but the enjoyment you will get from looking at and so you have this box. Is it in an acrylic case? Is it graded? How do you display it?
So it was just in a display. I did buy an acrylic case for it. What I'm thinking, we're buying a new building, and I want to do a wall we have like really long hallways, and I want to do a wall that just has like boxes going hopefully from the 40s up till today.
What's going on at Bargain Hunter Breaks these days? I mean, I had you on Sports Cards Live. I think that was the end of last year, early this year. We had a great chat. You're always just so energized by the hobby. What's changed in the business in the last 9 months?
So our company is growing like crazy. Last time we spoke, last year we did just under 5 million in sales with one stream, just myself. I decided, people always tell me, it's like, look, people only break with you because you're in Storage Wars, but you cannot grow a company, right? So that was kind of scary for me as a businessman, because I do want to scale. I'm almost 50 years old. I don't want to do this in the next 20 years, right?
So you took that as a challenge.
I did take it as a challenge. I want to walk around and buy stuff and let somebody else break for us, right? So we added a second studio in January, extremely successful. In May, we added Studio 3 and 4, again, extremely successful. And just now, we should close escrow, I'm hoping next week, on a brand new building that has 12,000 square feet with 16 new offices, studios that we're going to build out.
Oh, very nice.
So next year, I think next year, the next podcast we do at the National, hopefully we'll have around 20 streamers going.
Wow, that's incredible. So you've been here the whole time at the show here since Wednesday?
Tuesday, since Tuesday.
Since you've been here since Tuesday, as have I. My perspective on this show, and listen, I was just in the far end, like the deep end of the show. That's where I ran into you. And I was asking some dealers, just striking up small talk, how's the show been? Everybody is saying incredible. One guy told me that this is his 5th national. He said on day 1 of this show, he had already done more sales than in his first 2 shows combined in 1 day. So 1 day versus 10 days. People are telling me that everybody wants to buy cards. There are lots. Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. Welcome. Thank you. The vendors are all very happy. I haven't run into one vendor who is not thrilled with their how they've done at the show here. What is your perspective of how this show has been, the energy, where the hobby is at?
Let's do a controversial moment, right? So here you go for your controversy, where
Let's
people
do it. Bring it.
Leave a comment what you think. But so we just signed a partnership with eBay Live. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have 10 streams on there hopefully within the year. So as we build out the studios. I just told you, I add more studios and my breakers are busy. I buy more and more stuff where sometimes I even get scared. I'm like, oh my God, can I move 200 cases of this? I don't have enough. I'm trying to find another 200 cases, right? The energy at this hobby, and here's the controversy, and I'm speaking to you negative YouTubers, streamers. There's some people in this hobby that just literally thrive on negativity, right?
Of course.
The hobby's dead, nothing is working, nothing is worth anything. Oh my God, a player went down, right? The hobby has never been bigger than it ever has been. The people that are walking around at the National, they're happy.
Yeah.
They are happy. Every dealer, just like you, they're happy. I actually saw somebody yesterday that had a pack 4000 that a Cal Ripken card on top with the FU,
Yeah.
It's worth a lot less, but I'm like, you know what? That is the one card. Maybe I'll pay extra. And he wouldn't come up $5. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to buy it. But the hobby is well and alive. We have more corporate stuff in there. And if you say corporate is bad, that's how a hobby grows, right? Because at the end of the day, we do spend a lot of money. I know you spend a lot of money. I know I spend a lot of money. And at the end of the day, so obviously anything in my collection is not for sale and money doesn't really matter. But it does make me feel better that one day when it goes to my daughter, she has value, right? And if she doesn't love it, it's not like, oh my God, will you please buy 1,000 packs, give me $50, right?
Yeah.
There is value there, right? The show's packed. Every person I talk to, I've taken at least 1,000 pictures with people at the National. And that's way more than ever before. All the big streaming companies, eBay, Fanatics, whatnot, they're all packed. They are breaking. I've seen so many high-end cards, and then I go back the next day and I'm like, nobody's buying this card for $17,000, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's like the vintage stuff. I went to the trade night. Okay, this is crazy. There were kids sitting there with literally $50,000 in there, and I'm like, you probably should cover this up,
Yeah.
And I used to be in a heavy cash business, so I'm pretty quick seeing what's there, and they're just making deals and deals and deals. And you know what? I hate to say, I don't hate to say it, but when Michael Rubin said he's going to 10x the hobby, I think he will. And I actually think he will 100x it. I said that before in a different podcast. I think it's just the beginning. And it's going to be an exciting ride. And yes, there will be players that crash and there will be products that won't do as well. But that is part of the ecosystem, right? Also, these companies have to figure out what do we like, when do we like it, and how do we like it, right? But in general, the hobby will just be going up.
Yeah. So, I mean, how in the world, if we 100x, and I know that's, you're just kind of throwing a number out there, but where are we going to go? There's no room in this building for 100, even doubling where we are now is impossible. So it's a great prospect. It's sort of scary, but I want to come back to what you said.
I'm going to answer that question for you.
Go.
Let me answer that question.
Please. Okay,
because
sure.
I love talking with you.
I assumed you wouldn't have an answer, but you do. Let's hear it.
It's very simple.
Okay.
We go to the biggest convention place in the world. We go to Las Vegas, and it's very easy. At the Venetian Convention Center, it's where you find all football. At the Sahara or Mandalay Bay is where all baseball is at. Or you can do it by categories. I mean, you see even here, there's so many different categories of collectibles, right?
True.
This area has all your pack collectors. This area has all your vintage. This area has your modern. Your breakers are somewhat different. You know, but you have more shows. Instead of one national year, you have 5.
And there are lots of big shows, so you're right. It's the hobby will adapt to its growth. I do want to go back to when you mentioned about the pack that you didn't buy for like a $5 difference, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
it was like a $200 difference. That was just bigger speech, yeah.
Okay, sure, but it still speaks to my point because I had a similar experience. There's a guy with a card out there, and he had a price at $950. I was looking at the card. He said I would take $850. I said, I wanted to pay. I was thinking about offering you $800. I said, let me think about it. I walked back and said, I'm willing to offer $800 for the card, and that's all I want to pay. Otherwise, I'm okay. No hard feelings. Thank you very much. He said, I'll pass. So he's passing for $50. Hey, we shook hands. I said, thanks for considering and have a great show. But the sign that I'm picking up there, what that signals to me is that everyone's having a good show. People are not desperate to sell. They figure someone else will come along. So he could have had 800. He's waiting for 850, not because he wanted to give it to me,
it's
but because he's not in a rush to sell it. He'll get his money eventually, and he's had a great show. So even vendors are holding on to cards. And now on the flip side, sort of, Leighton Sheldon over at Just Collect down in the vintage area, he sold at this show a complete T206 baseball set minus the Wagner and the other big one, the Plank, I think it is. He sold the whole thing for almost $200,000.
That's crazy.
At this show.
Well, go to BBCE talking about packs and boxes. They had boxes for like $275,000. I forgot what it was. That's just fat old sold stickers on.
Sold.
You still can't see it, but it's sold.
Oh my goodness.
$275,000 for one box.
People are literally walking this show floor, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I'm sure there's some people prepared to spend $1 million plus.
I bet you there were people here that spend $1 million plus. I'd take the over.
I would too.
Yeah. And also what you were saying, economics 101, right? That dealer's telling you, I cannot get that supply, so I cannot just replace that card you're buying for $800. And I also believe the demand is so crazy in the hobby right now that if I don't sell it here today, I'll sell it at the next show.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of. I'm gonna go back after this. I was in the middle of negotiating. I was in the middle of negotiating on a card, and I had to leave that negotiation to come here with you to meet you for this. And hey, what's up, fellas? Good to see you guys.
What card was it?
It's a 1933 Gaudi Lou Gehrig, number 92. It's his rookie card.
Oh, wow.
It's a very low grade. Technically, it's in a PSA 1 holder, but it is a beautiful copy. It's got some paper loss on the back. His asking price is well above PSA 1 comps, but if you look at PSA 1s, usually they're the ones that are comp, they're not nearly as nice. And I'm willing to pay a premium for a low grade card with super high eye appeal, and this one has it on the front. It's spectacular. So I need to decide, but he's not I got him down to, I'm sure, what his lowest number is. It's more than I want to pay. But now I have to decide, it's a $300 gap that we're at. I have to decide, is that $300 gap enough for me to walk, or do I just step up, spend the $300 and buy this card? And the other thing is, I really like the dealer. I like this guy. I want to do business with him. I want to have a card from him. We will build that memory and do business in the future. What are your thoughts on that, René?
So I told you about the pack last year. The guy had 700 on it. It was a pop one. It's not a popular pack, but it's like science and rockets. The cards are not valuable, but it's a pack you just don't see, right? And last year he had 700. I offered 500. He said, I'll do 600. And I said, let me walk around. It was like, and on the last day I couldn't find his booth anymore. And I regretted it for the entire year. And my wife was like, why wouldn't you buy it if you really want it for $100 difference?
Yeah.
Like the $100 doesn't really mean that much to me, right? I spent it on other dumb stuff than that. And I regretted it for the entire year. And today on the last day when I saw you back there, I actually showed you the pack. I found him by accident. I was so happy. And I was like, damn, he put $950 on it now. And I said, remember last year we were talking, I offered 5, you were at 6. Where are you at this year? What can we do? Luckily, it was the last day. Nobody still has bought it because it's such a unique pack. And I will put it on my IG if anybody wants to see it on Bargain Hunters Breaks. Cheap luck. But, and he's like, I'll do 600 like last year. I'm like, done. I didn't count it. That thing sold.
Isn't that nice?
And I was so happy. Like, so I bought some amazing packs this year. I already told you, 33 Gaudi Scout, a 35 Mickey, a 60, I think it's either 60 or 66 Disneyland pack, which I wanted to add to my collection for a long time. A Green Hornet in a PSA 9.
I love the Green Hornet you bought. What a beautiful pack.
That's top grade. That's 30th, my best grade. But that pack, just same thing, like the story with the dealer. I think the dealer's name is Christian. He's well known in the pack. It's either something Christian. But that whole story, that was my favorite pack. And you could literally offer me $3,000-$4,000 for that pack right now. I would not sell it. And I think every time I look at that pack, it will make me smile. And I think you should get the Lou Gehrig card for the same reasons.
I know. I think you're right. I probably will. You know, I've done that same thing where I have balked on picking up a card for a small amount of money and then regretted it, and then bought the same card 3 years later for twice the price and lower grade.
You want to hear my worst deal ever that I regretted? I'm probably going to take it.
Let's hear it.
So when I started getting back into cards slowly, I bought a Jordan PSA 9 rookie for $2,500 from a guy. At the time, they were going for like $3,000 to like $4,500 sometimes, right? This was before everything exploded. But I was just getting into cards slowly, and I was like a crail. But then one of my regular customers that came in, because I put it on a YouTube video, he's like, I'll give you $5,000. And Casey's like, why don't you just put the new save? I know you love it. I know you like it. And I'm not a huge Jordan fan, as the Chicago Bulls, but he's the greatest player of all time, right? So I respect that, and I like him. So I sold that card for $5,000 just because the businessman at me at the time was like, hey, I double my money literally in 48 hours. And that's probably going to be my biggest regret in the hobby ever. And I know I can just go out and buy another one. But I don't know. I don't want to because of that reason.
Because of that.
It's not like really my PC. So
that's interesting.
That's why I never sell anything anymore that I buy. So, and then technically I did buy that for business. The plan wasn't selling it, but I wish I would have never sold it. And my wife tells me all the time, she's like, remember I told you to keep that. And at one time when the hobby was going crazy, those cards were bringing almost $100,000.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah.
Thank God they're down back to 12. So because now I tell us like, okay, I lost some, but not that bad.
Right. All right, man. Well, listen, I think we can wrap this up.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk. I love talking to you. I love talking to hobby. We should do a 24-hour podcast where it gets like really awkward at hour 18. What about Diamond Kings? Tell me your best Diamond Kings experience. I love Diamond Kings.
We can plan something else another time for sure. René, thank you for joining. Always a pleasure talking with you. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining me in here. And listen, there is more stuff we can talk about, but we'll save some stuff for later.
Sounds good. It's always great to talk to you. And you're in Canada, right?
I am.
You're my brother from Canada.
I'm your brother from another mother.
Hockey packs insane. I was like, good. In America, nobody collects hockey. I'm just going to steal them. And then I look at vintage hockey packs, and the prices are insane. The Canadians pay a lot. Do they move up there?
Oh yeah. Oh, they do. They do. If you can find them, it's very rare to find an unopened pack. Like, anything earlier than say 1979 is tough to find. Even you can find some 70s. So let me rephrase. Anything from 1972 and earlier is very rare, extremely rare.
Hockey prices are insane, and they have such beautiful. I don't even like. I mean, it's not that I dislike it. I never spent time learning hockey and really getting into it. But some of the artwork on them is absolutely amazing.
I love them. All right, buddy. Thanks so much.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks for tuning in and being a part of the Sports Cards Live community. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and most of all, keep collecting. More great content to come. Sports Cards is a lifestyle.